Hi, friends. I'm Dave Barklow, pastor at Fort Walton Beach First United Methodist. Welcome to the Pastor Study, our daily devotional to help us focus our mind on the things of God. We are continuing to walk through the Gospel of Mark together. And what's interesting about our passage today is it only really makes sense if we go backwards and look at another passage in Mark, what's happened beforehand. And you start to really get a sense of the story of what's going on here. That these aren't just random things thrown together in some makeshift order, but there is a story going throughout the whole gospel, and you have to kind of know what happened before to understand what's happening here. And too often we chunk up the scripture so much so that we only study, this passage on this Sunday and this passage on this Sunday and maybe something from this book, that we don't get a sense of that whole narrative. But when you get a sense of the narrative, like we're trying to do with our study, you really start to see just how amazing God is, just how deliberate God is in revealing God's self to us. So this is Mark chapter 6, verses 53 through the end of the chapter. When they had crossed over, they came to the land of the Gennesaret and moored the boat. When they got out of the boat, people at once recognized him and rushed about that whole region and began to bring the sick on mats to wherever they heard he was. And wherever he went, into villages or cities or farms, they laid the sick in the marketplaces and begged him that he might touch even the fringe of his cloak. And all who touched it were healed. So Jesus arrives somewhere, and they immediately recognize him, and they realize he has the power to heal. Now, if you remember, we've talked about him going into Gennesaret before, back in chapter 5. So what's happening here? Why did they know to go and get everyone and that Jesus could heal? Well, Gennesaret is where Jesus healed the man who was possessed and who lived among the tombs. If you remember, Jesus healed this man that no one could bind and that no one could help, and Jesus helped him be in his right mind. And at the very end, Jesus sends him away. The man wants to follow Jesus, but Jesus tells, no, go tell others what God has done for you. And so verse 20 of chapter 5 says, and he went away and began to proclaim in the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him, and everyone was amazed. So it makes complete sense that after Jesus has been gone for a little while, he's gone, he's fed the 5,000, he's taught them, he's kind of gone around the lake here and there trying to get away from the crowd some. He goes back to Gennesaret, and the people recognize him. And they recognize him not only because he was there before, but they recognize him because of the man that Jesus had left there, that he had done exactly what Jesus told him to do. He had gone and proclaimed all that God had done for him to other people. So this time, when they see him, they bring the sick out to him. Now remember, last time they saw him, they didn't understand him. The herd of pigs had just been killed. And so they were like, you need to get away from us. But because of this ministry, because of the ministry of the man who was healed, when Jesus came back, they were ready to accept him. They were ready to listen to him. They were ready to bring out their sick that he may heal them. That's the power of one witness to what God has done in their lives. So friends, let's be witnesses today. Let's witness to the healing that God has brought into our own lives so that other people can be ready to accept the healing that Christ can bring to them. Remember, friends, I love you. Take care of yourselves and shine the light of Christ.